Hey, Bill, what day is it?
Hey gang, welcome back. This week, what day it is, we'll take the entire week to ramp up to our celebration of United States Independence Day on July 4th. If there's anything I love to celebrate, it's patriotism. Parades, flags flying, and fireworks invariably stir my soul. We have a great country that all started with the Declaration of Independence that was written primarily by Thomas Jefferson. And of course, as always happens in politics, it did go through some revisions by the representatives of the 13 colonies who made up the Second Continental Congress. The first vote took place on July 2nd, 1776. 11 of the 13 colonies signed this declaration, and 2 days later, on July 4th, 1776, the last two colonies signed it, and it was officially adopted, declaring our independence from the Kingdom of Great Britain. The ties were cut, and although at first not everyone agreed with the separation, it soon won the approval of most Americans. The Revolutionary War began, and the rest is history. We have since celebrated this momentous occasion for nearly 2.5 centuries. Do you realize that in 5 years we will have the biggest celebrations of any country in the history of the world? Across the country, people crowd cities for parades and festivities, and cities decorate the streets with red, white, and blue bunting and flags. Families and friends also gather for some of the most mouth-watering food, including large picnics and barbecues. Local fairs provide a taste of culture, and mom's home cooking too. With so many converging on their hometowns, there are often family and school reunions in abundance. In some parts of the country, people will shoot their own fireworks while children delight in the bright colors and the sparklers. They roast marshmallows and make s'mores. Before the day's over, many communities hold spectacular fireworks displays reenacting moments of victory. Cities like St. Louis, Missouri highlight the Arch. Washington, D.C. monuments are often in the background. And of course, Texas won't be outdone either. In 2009, the New York City hosted the largest fireworks display in the country. Join in on the oldest continuous Independence Day celebrations in the United States. Held since 1785, the Bristol 4th of July Parade in Bristol, Rhode Island holds that record. Patriotic music accompanies the performance, while spectators view the show from blankets strewn along Capitol lawns or from boats floating in harbors and bays. What would Independence Day be without the stirring music from the Boston Pops Orchestra, along with the cannons being fired, fireworks, and tons of confetti? Where music is being played, you will hear the national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner, or God Bless America, and many will sing along. In some locations, some of the most popular songs on the playlist are America the Beautiful, My Country 'Tis of Thee, This Land Is Your Land, Stars and Stripes Forever, God Bless the USA, Yankee Doodle, and Dixie. What are some of the best ways to celebrate Independence Day? Well, one is you can get the family together and have a big special party. But please, don't overdo it. If you're near a military base around noon on the 4th, you can probably hear a salute to the Union fired. It is a salute of one gun or cannon for each state in the United States. You can share your celebrations using hashtags Independence Day, July 4th, 4th of July, or 4th of July on social media. I've also added these links down below in the comments. Let's take a look back at some significant celebrations that have occurred since 1776. In 1777, the first anniversary of Independence Day was celebrated in Bristol, Rhode Island. They fired 13 gunshots in salute, and once in the morning and once again in the evening. Philadelphia hosted an official dinner for the Continental Congress. There were also toasts, 13 gun salutes, speeches, prayers, music, parades, troop reviews, and fireworks. Ships were decorated with red, white, and blue bunting. In 1778, General George Washington gave his soldiers a double ration of rum and an artillery salute. On the other side of the Atlantic Ocean, Ambassadors John Adams and Benjamin Franklin hosted a dinner for their fellow Americans in Paris, France. In 1779, since the holiday fell on a Sunday, celebrations were held on Monday, July 5th. In 1781, the Massachusetts General Court became the first state legislature to recognize July 4th as a state celebration. In 1783, Moravians in Salem, North Carolina celebrated with a challenging music program assembled by Johann Friedrich Peter. The work was titled The Psalm of Joy. In 1791, it saw the first recorded use of the name Independence Day. In 1820, Eastport, Maine held the first 4th of July celebration, and it remains the largest in the state. In 1870, the United States Congress made Independence Day an unpaid holiday for federal employees. And then, in 1938, the United States Congress changed Independence Day to a paid federal holiday. The American flag, sometimes called the Stars and Stripes, is a symbol of our freedom and flies at most public gatherings in the United States. There are few sights as majestic as our flag billowing in the wind on a sunny day. Many people don't realize all the symbolism that went into the designing of our flag. For instance, the colors red, white, and blue. Red stands for hardiness and valor, white for purity and innocence, and blue for vigilance, perseverance, and justice. There are 13 stripes, and each stripe represents one of the 13 original colonies that signed the Declaration of Independence. Currently, there are 50 stars on the blue field. Each star represents one of the 50 states. This is the only area that has changed its design over the years as new states were added. Altogether, they make up our flag, the symbol of our country, and the millions of people who have given their all for this land. While the American flag is a common sight, there are regulations and rules of etiquette that help maintain the respect and decorum that it deserves. As you observe the various ceremonies and celebrations this week, keep an eye out for the way most people treat the flag. For instance, the American flag should always be displayed as the highest flag in a group, except when flown with any state flag or flag of a foreign country. And then it must be on its own staff. It must always be displayed to its own right when flown in a group, or to the right of any speaker or podium on a platform. When hung over a street, the Union or field of stars should always face north or east, depending on the direction of the street. When marching, the U.S. flag should be to the marcher's right, the observer's left. Never use the flag for decoration. Use bunting with the blue on top, then white, then red. On special days, the flag may be flown at half-staff. On Memorial Day, it is flown at half-staff until noon and then raised. Other special rules include: do not let the flag touch the ground. Do not fly the flag upside down unless there's an emergency, at which time it becomes a distress signal. Do not use the flag as clothing. Do not store the flag where it can get dirty. Do not use it as a cover. Do not fasten it or tie it back. Always allow it to fall free. Do not draw on or otherwise mark the flag. What is a proper salute to the U.S. flag? All persons present in uniform should render the military salute. Members of the armed forces and veterans who are present but not in uniform may render the military salute. All other persons present should face the flag and stand at attention with their right hand over their heart, or if applicable, remove their headdress with their right hand and hold it to the left shoulder, the hand being over the heart. There are even rules to observe with regard to dignified disposal of a worn or damaged flag. The flag should be folded in its customary manner. It is important that the fire be fairly large and of sufficient intensity to ensure complete burning of the flag. The ceremonial fire is built specifically for the exclusive purpose of flag disposal. It is not a trash fire. Place the flag on the fire The individuals can come to attention, salute the flag, recite the Pledge of Allegiance, and have a brief period of silent reflection. After the flag is completely consumed, the fire should then be safely extinguished and the ashes buried. Today, fewer and fewer people really appreciate the full meaning of the U.S. flag, but it has been the symbol of freedom and victory, from Fort McHenry during the Revolutionary War, through 2 world wars, leading up to the iconic photo of 6 Marines raising the flag atop Mount Suribachi on Iwo Jima, to the attack on the World Trade Center in 2001. The sight of the flag stirs patriotism by Americans all across the globe. There are countries that try to disrespect our flag by vandalizing and burning, but they can never quench the indomitable spirit of true American citizens. The presence of the flag unites us all in protecting the rights and freedoms of the downtrodden across the globe. The flag has no power in and of itself, but rather represents the power and strength of the people of this great nation. We're not perfect, and we seek to improve every day. I once heard someone who was returning from a trip abroad state, "The United States is the worst country in the world, except for all the rest." I'm Bill Wasore, and this is Hey Bill, What Day Is It? God has blessed this country, and my prayer is that He will continue to do so for years to come. As long as He does, each of us can have a triumphant day in the shadow of our flag and the protection of our God. God bless America.